Hello, we are talking construction issues today, and as it happens, we're talking next to a real construction site. So don't be too surprised if you hear construction noises coming in through from the background from time to time. Bear with us. However, the real topic is construction cost benchmarking, which provides an alternative way of estimating the impact of affordable housing development on the economy. Now, construction cost benchmarking is an analytic tool used in CAF's economic value chain studies conducted in a number of African countries. The tool unpacks the total development cost of various types of affordable housing products in great detail. The various costs are then assigned to a range of standard economic sectors. We refer to this as the bottom-up approach that is useful where we don't have good national data. In addition, construction cost benchmarking aims to improve stakeholders' awareness and understanding of real development costs and the critical cost drivers. The price of a completed product to the end user in the marketplace often obscures historic sunk costs and other hidden subsidies in cash or kind. This makes it difficult for governments and public agencies when they need to budget for housing programs, and when they need to assess the replicability and sustainability of housing projects. Now, benchmarking is done on a number of housing typologies or products. CAF has created a virtual house, the so-called standard CAF house. It is modeled on a basic formal standalone dwelling. This can be used as the main big bag comparator. This is the basic model house used for the benchmarking. However, a number of other typical products are also costed, including apartments in multi-story blocks. In the benchmarking exercise, we look at the costs of each stage of housing development. There are several steps in formal housing development. We can order this in 7 steps. In the first step, a vacant land parcel in an urban neighborhood is identified by a developer. In the second step, the developer then purchases or leases the parcel and registers the rights to it. Now, the costs for obtaining these rights are determined by the landholding system and/or the property market conditions. Costs are influenced by factors such as location and level of infrastructural services available in the area. The costs include purchase or lease price, statutory registration duties, and professional conveyancing fees. They may also include a fee for the survey of the property. The third step involves legally converting the land for development. Obtaining access to bulk infrastructure is included in this step. This is done by obtaining formal development rights. It involves environmental and planning approvals for the intended change in type and intensity of land use. In some countries, this is called township establishment or rezoning and subdivision. The costs include statutory compliance charges, professional fees. In some countries, developers have to pay so-called development contributions to local authorities. These are for access to trunk services. Sometimes developers even implement public infrastructure upgrades as part of the conditions for obtaining development rights. Now, once permission to proceed with development is in place and the subdivisions have been surveyed and pegged, the fourth step is for the developer to design and install internal reticulation infrastructure services. These include internal roads, stormwater, street lighting, water, sewer, electricity. For these, the developer enters into a services agreement with the local authorities or other public supply agencies, and then the developer installs the services. The costs in this fourth step include bush clearing if needed, survey fees, design fees, and services construction costs. It's recognized that in some areas, public or private supply agencies are unable to provide access to all services, especially waterborne sanitation. Such instances, the developer may provide on-site services, and that's included in total cost. Once the general plan and the subdivision diagrams have been approved and registered, internal reticulation services installed to the satisfaction of the authority concerned, the fifth step is when the developer arranges the design and construction of the housing units. This step includes submission of building plans and obtaining building plan approval from the relevant authority. It also includes procuring construction services through tender or negotiation and proceeding with the construction of the housing. Costs in the fifth step include professional fees for design, supervision and project management, municipal plan approval fees, registration with regulatory construction oversight bodies, labor, building materials, contractor site establishment and management costs, contractor and developer overheads and profits. The sixth step involves connecting the individual plots to internal reticulation services and providing services on the individual plots. There are two possible scenarios. In scenario 1, all services on individual plots can be connected to municipal bulk services via connections at plot boundaries to internal reticulation services installed by the developer. Scenario 2, no bulk sewage disposal is provided by the municipality or other agency. The developer does therefore not install internal sewer reticulation. Instead, the developer provides sewage disposal by means of conservancy or septic tanks and French drains, seepage drains, on each individual plot. However, in some cases, the developer may even install a sewage treatment plant for the whole development and connect the individual plots to it via an internal reticulation system. Finally, in the seventh step, the houses are marketed and sold and transferred or rented out. This may be done largely in-house or through the use of outside professionals, such as conveyancing attorneys, brokers, letting and property management agents. The costs include internal or external promotions, marketing, and then brokerage and agent fees and professional conveyancing fees. So, the costs of all 7 stages are considered when calculating the real development cost of housing. We can benchmark and compare all real housing development cost elements across different typologies and cities. This allows us to notice patterns that show outlier cost drivers, and identifying these outlier costs is essential when we undertake broader housing economic value chain impact analyses. This analysis can inform initiatives that could mitigate the impact of those drivers and initiatives that improve process efficiencies, affordability, replicability and sustainability of affordable housing delivered at scale.